Hi guys, this is Kazar with another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on a game between Chojja and Nada, and this is the ace match of the Pantech Ex versus KTF matchup played earlier today, and it's being played on the map Nemesis. I really honestly feel really bad for Nada. I mean, Nada is the workhorse of the Pantech Ex team. He is the one they rely on. He is sent out time and time again, and he provides the results time and time again. And you have to feel that that's a lot of pressure for a single player to be under, especially considering the fact that he supports his family. I think it's a little bit perhaps unfair to him, because when he does lose, it's a big deal. But the fact that he's playing so many games, even the best players in StarCraft have a winning percentage of 60-65%. So the fact is that he is going to lose some games, especially when he's being forced to play this many games. And you have to feel that maybe being forced to play this many games in the Pro League is going to affect his performance when it comes to the Star League. And Chojja is gone for 6 pool, so Chojja has started a spawning pool after just 6 drones. So Chojja is nuts, and it looks like he's going to rush. Unfortunately for him, his Overlord is scouting the wrong way, and that's very surprising to me that he's going for a rush on a map like this. I guess he's anticipating that most Terrans would fast expand. Unluckily for him, Nada has actually gone for his barracks before going for a supply depot on this occasion. So Nada is going to be ready for this, and this might prove fatal for Chojja. This might prove an absolutely fatal mistake for Chojja. Chojja is another player who, like Yellow, has not been performing very, very well for some time now. And this is his chance to prove again that he still has what it takes. Unfortunately for Chojja, he just hasn't been doing that well recently, even though he is a really, really good player, and I've seen him play some amazing games, especially Zerg versus Terran. And he does have this kind of cowboy Zerg style, where he plays almost an UUV type heavy macro game, just overwhelming the opponent with sheer volume of units, and not really, caring too much about microing small units. And he's been very successful with that. And Chojja sending that drone out to scout. Chojja starting at the top left of the map at the 11 o'clock position, and Nada has started at the 5 o'clock position on the bottom right of the map. And Chojja sent his Zerglings out, so he's attacking Nada. Nada must have seen that drone from Chojja, and I'm not sure. And Nada has now seen the Zerglings with those SCVs, so Nada knows that the rush is coming from Chojja, and he's bringing his SCVs out to block. So he should be able to block this rush, even though he only has a couple of Marines. It's going to be very hard with 3 SCVs and 2 Marines, or 3 Marines on that ramp for Chojja to get up that ramp. And this rush is going to fail, and that's going to be very, very bad for Chojja, because he has invested in that rush. He didn't go for a 3-hatch build. He actually went for the spawning pool first. Chojja has started a second hatchery, though. He started the second hatchery in his natural, and that's the interesting thing about Nemesis. Even though Chojja has gone for this crazy strategy, you would think that it would be very difficult for him to now switch around and just start off another hatchery, and that he would have to build up a significant number of forces before he could think of starting another hatchery, and that he would be too far behind to catch up economically, and that he would then be overrun by Nada. Nada is taking his refiner, so Nada is going to be ahead in tech at the very least, and Chojja is going to find it hard to defend this. But the fact of the matter is that because this is Nemesis, it means that you can actually build your expansion inside your main, and you can therefore protect your expansion from your main, and that's very, very good. In this matchup, it's going to be very good for Chojja, because it's actually going to allow him to survive this game, survive that mistaken rush, despite it not succeeding and despite it failing. But I don't know how he's going to actually come out on top now, because of the fact that rush has failed. Usually when a rush fails, it gives the advantage to the opponent, and usually that advantage is enough to take them through to the end of the game. And Nada, we've seen this before against Gorush, where Gorush tried a similar strategy against Nada, although he went, I think, 7 pool rather than 6 pool, or 9 pool, and Gorush's strategy. Gorush tried the same, and Chojja is actually starting up a sunken there in his main. We're just looking at the first-person view of Nada, and you can see that Nada is going to get that academy down very, very quickly, probably, and try and take advantage of the fact that he knows Chojja is economically weak. He knows Chojja is not going to be able to have a lot to defend himself, and Nada has quickly masked up a decent-sized force of Marines, but he'd be taking a risk if he moved out too quickly, if he didn't wait for any medics, because Marines can be picked off by flanking Zerglings, and Chojja has actually been forced to build that sunken. Normally you would see that sunken being built below the ramp at an expansion, or very close to the ramp, and Chojja forced to build that sunken very close to his main. And Chojja has already started his lair tech, so even though Chojja has got 2 hatcheries, he's already started his lair tech. So this is very, very unorthodox by Chojja. He's forced into this because he went for that choice of strategy, where he went for that early 6 pool rush, which didn't pay off. And now Nada is coming after Chojja. Nada is actually coming after Chojja, and Chojja is trying to get a couple of Sunkans up very, very hastily. If he can get them up, he might be able to hold his defense there because of the difficulty of getting up that ramp. If Chojja can block Nada from that ramp, he might be able to buy himself a little bit more time in this game. And Nada is stimming those Marines. He's going to rush up that ramp, and Nada runs past the Sunkans. Nada rushes past the Sunkans that are not yet complete. Only one of the Sunkans there. Chojja going in with the Zerglings and the drones. Brilliant play by Chojja. I'm not sure if that was a mistake by Nada, if that was pure brilliance by Chojja. Chojja now going with the Marines. Nada trying to flank those Marines around the back of Chojja's mineral line. Chojja coming in with the Zerglings, and he's going to take those Marines down, also with the help of those drones. And that was amazing micro by Chojja. Brilliant, brilliant defense, I have to say. What great defense was that? He actually managed to take out Nada's force with a handful of Zerglings, and that was absolutely brilliant play by Chojja. I'm not sure if that was actually silly by Nada or if it was amazing defense by Chojja, considering the fact that Nada ran around those Sunkans, but his Marines seemed to stop there just around the side of the Sunkans. If he had kept going, he probably would have gotten through, but I think Chojja actually attacked at precisely the exact moment, and his Zerglings cornered Nada's medic and firebat and killed him off, and therefore Nada's Marines were easy picking. Had that medic survived, had the firebat survived, this would have been GG by now. But Chojja has bought himself some much valuable time with that exercise. As I was saying, Chojja is still struggling very much in this game though, because he's only got 2 hatcheries. He's been forced to spend drones on making Sunkans. He still has only 1 gas. He still doesn't have 2 gas. He's been forced to spend drones on making Sunkans. He's been forced to spend larvae on making Zerglings. So economically he cannot be far ahead of Nada, even though he has survived that rush. Nada now getting up his engineering bay in anticipation of Mutalisks from Chojja, and Chojja does have that spire that he is building. So Chojja is going to have a few Mutalisks, but again, you're going to have to wonder how many Mutalisks he's going to be able to pump out and how effective that's going to be, considering the fact that he only has 1 gas and he only has 2 hatchery, and he's limited to 6 larvae from those 2 hatcheries. And Nada has got his natural expansion complete. He's got his command center complete. So Nada is going to be improving his economy as well. Nada is easily at par on economic terms with Chojja at this moment in time. So this matchup is very, very finely balanced right now. I would have to give the edge to Nada, first of all, because we did see when Gorush failed that rush against Nada, Nada made mincemeat out of him and finished him off. And you have to feel that despite the fact that Chojja has held off for this long, he has got those 3 Sunkans just at the top of his ramp. What Nada needs is he needs siege tech, and he needs it quickly. Chojja is still behind in text, Chojja is still behind in economy, and Nada needs to take advantage of this and get a couple of siege tanks up, protect them with medics and Marines, and take out Chojja's Sunken line. And if he manages to do that, he will easily win the game. And he should have time to easily do that and assault Chojja's Sunken line, long before Chojja is able to get defilers. Chojja has now got his spire up, and he's going to have Mutalisks up, and this Mutalisk harass from Chojja is going to be absolutely vital. It's going to be critical to the result of this game. If Chojja can pull off a savior-esque Mutalisk harass and deal some damage to Nada's economy, and slow Nada down, maybe keep him pinned back in his base. That's what he needs to do. Keep Nada back, keep him from assaulting him for a little bit longer. He might be able to buy himself the time he needs to catch up in terms of economy and to catch up in terms of technology. But if he cannot do that successfully, he's going to find himself in a world of pain. And Nada has got turrets up, so Nada is prepared for this attack by Chojja. I'm not sure how effective an attack with just 6 Mutalisks from 2 hatcheries is going to be. And Chojja is still on 2 hatcheries, and I have to say this is very unorthodox. It's been a long time since I've seen a Zerg player with only 2 hatcheries like 10 minutes into the game. That's very late into the game to only have 2 hatcheries, and Chojja playing a very unorthodox strategy here, forced upon him by that failed rush, and I'm surprised he's still alive in the game. And one of the Mutalisks just goes down. Chojja just suicides that Mutalisk into Nada's medics and Marines, and that was very poor micro by Chojja. He needs to control those Mutalisks much better than that if he wants to have a chance in this game, and Chojja just taking out that SCV to deny Nada the scout. There's nothing there, so I'm not sure why he was trying to do that. He would have been better off trying to go and harass Nada, and Chojja going for some fast tech here. Chojja getting that Queen's Nest up. I guess he realizes he needs defilers as quickly as possible to hold that ramp, but again, Chojja is investing resources in teching up fast. He doesn't have a lot of units. He's only got a handful of Mutalisks and a couple of Sunkans to defend his base, and Nada needs to take advantage of that. Chojja has got drop tech. Chojja has actually dropped at the 6 o'clock position, and Chojja has dropped the island base at the 6 o'clock expansion, and that is what a risk. That is a completely crazy risk to be taking by Chojja. If that base is discovered, there's no way he's going to be able to defend it. This is really, really risky by Chojja, and he is really showing some kahunas by trying this strategy here. He's building an expansion at the 6 o'clock overclock position. I guess he feels that he wouldn't really be able to defend an expansion on the land, accessible by land, against Nada, and he's hoping that Nada won't scout that expansion. So this is another key point here. Nada first of all needs to attack now and quickly before Chojja gets on par economic. And once again, Chojja's Mutalisk Harass ineffective, seemingly ineffective. He's lost about 2 or 3 Mutalisks. He's not really killed anything of Nada, and Nada now finally with that push, and Nada actually is going in the wrong direction. So that was brilliant by Chojja when he denied Nada the scout earlier on that ramp with his SCV.